Hello there, my name is Ben and welcome back to Play the Game Central. Now in this video I'm going to be talking about a couple of things, and it's actually weird because this is now full circle. My first ever YouTube commentary was literally teleporting into the catwalk on Doris and talking, and now we're here at the end, and that's creepy that it's come full circle and this would be the video. But there are a couple of things I want to talk about and then something else I don't want to talk about. Now, the first thing is, I'd like to know what weaponry you'd like to see in the next map, because obviously it's World War I, so you have to have weaponry. My two kind of prime guns would be the KX-9J, which is awesome submachine gun, or the M1X17, which is my favourite pistol of all time. So I think that would be really nice to have in the maps. What would you like to see? And ignore the guns I have in my hands in this game because they mean literally nothing. But what would you like to see in the next map? What guns? You know, we have that Mauser guns, because that's not just one gun, it's three guns. It's a rifle, it's a automatic weapon, and it's a pistol. But what would you like to see in the next map? I mean, that's the question, because why not? And the other thing I want to talk about is this place, Doris, the Giant. I made a video an awfully long time ago now. I think it's been taken down on my channel now by me. It's been privated, as well as a lot of future-proof videos. Because I'm doing something, by the way. I'm not. Anyway, I'll talk about that another time. But yeah, I made a video a long time ago about the Giant, and then one more recently. But I wanted to kind of give you an example of why I'm onto something. Now, there's a lot of people who've been remaking my videos because people do that now, but they get it wrong inevitably. They get what I'm saying wrong. You can't get something wrong because there's no proof yet, but they get what I'm saying wrong at least. This place was not a weapons facility. It wasn't a place where they manufactured weapons. This was a place where two things were happening, where Richtofen was advancing teleportation, and Maxis was doing something that not many people know about. His research is very undercover. You don't know what Maxis is doing most of the time. And Richtofen is literally locked in his lab most of the time doing matter transference until he actually transfers himself out of the lab, and Schuster waits for him, and he goes full circle and comes back. Now, there's two things. There's the starting area of Doris, which is the perfect place to house, I don't know, something big. Something really big. Something with big legs and that's fucking evil. Something that could stand either side of that teleporter or on the teleporter or whatever. And the other thing that I never thought about until yesterday is something that's kind of iconic in zombies. Something that is something that most people would recognise as being Doris. If you showed them just a picture of any wall in Doris, they wouldn't know. Pretty much wouldn't know which map. It could be a lot of maps, but there's one iconic wall door that really is out of place compared to the rest of the map. You look at the size of the help door on Doris, it could fit something quite substantial through it. And what looks like it looks like something weird has happened. It looks like something's been started up, maybe a giant mechanical man, something weird like that. I don't know where that came from, but you know, something like that could have been started up, and it didn't work. We've seen Maxis, his original research at the race was trying to reanimate and control. Control's a huge part of the zombie storyline, and we know a lot about Control, and it failed. Obviously, we know that he couldn't control anything until he was in Ether, at which point he still couldn't control anything anyway. But you don't know that yet. But okay. But going back a bit, he couldn't control the zombies at Doris. But I think he couldn't control
1080p, 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 1080p. Your breath stinks, by the way.
The giants, plural, either. But we're talking about one specific giant, which is the one that was created at Doris. And I think Doris is the way it is because the giant left Doris, and on its way out, it destroyed Doris. I don't know if it's got whatever lasers or rockets or sheep. I don't know what the fuck it's using. But something happened. The Reese wouldn't look like that if zombies just took over. There are bits ripped out of walls. We know that zombies don't really kind of attack normal walls. There's fire on different floors. It looks like rockets have been, like RPGs have been pulling out the walls. It's in a real state, and I think that something is responsible, something tangible is responsible. And I think that could be where we're heading in the future. Now, I made a little video on Vine, and I'm saying little video is 6 seconds long. I have a theory about the next map, which will probably be my last video for quite a while on Play the Game. And that's coming out tomorrow. Actually, I've got 2 videos, and I think they're both coming out tomorrow now. I'd like to know what you think about it, especially once you start playing the next map. So start playing it and then think about what I've said, and if it makes sense, then I'm great. Then that's great. Sorry, not I'm great. That's great. And I think I know what happens next. If that's right, if my theory is right, then I know what happens next. Because you should too. Because what happens next is what happened at the beginning. And what happens after that is what happened after the beginning. And what happens at the end is that it's a prequel to the beginning. And what happens at the beginning is that it's a kind of sequel to the end. And what happens after that sequel is Star Wars. Cheers.
We approach the final curtain. The time for vengeance has come. A trilogy of darkness will end. Extinction follows. And a new sun will rise. A new world will spin. We now dominate the world. Our time is now.
Zombies 3, available from all respectable online outlets.